Hey folks, my name's Ed Trevors. My pronouns are he, him, and his. I'm an Anglican priest serving in the beautiful parish of St. Margaret of Scotland that sits on the ancestral and on the unceded territory of the Mi'kmaq people, Gwe. As you can tell, I'm still at my mom and dad's place in northern New Brunswick in beautiful Miramichi. The Miramichi River is right over there. I'll put a picture up for you. It's an absolutely amazing place. Now it's almost completely frozen over right now. The ice is so thick you can drive your snowmobile on it. I'm not that brave, but lots of people do. Anyhow, a wonderful place. If you're ever up in New Brunswick or if you're looking for a great vacation spot, can't go wrong with Miramichi. It's this wonderful region of Canada. Anyway, today I wanted to talk to you about a poster that hangs in my home back in Halifax. Another beautiful place to visit. But this poster, it says, "You don't think God can use you?" And then below that title, that headline, it has a list of biblical characters. And beside each one of these names, there's a label. You know, something that these people were. And it's generally not a flattering thing. You know, for example, Moses was a murderer. The one that came to mind when I wanted to do this talk was Rahab. Rahab was a prostitute. Right now, if you don't know Rahab's story, Rahab was a prostitute. She owned a home in Jericho. And when the Israelites came into the Promised Land and they were told to capture the city of Jericho, they sent spies into the city. And Rahab showed those spies hospitality. She hid them from the guards. And because of that act, she was shown mercy when the city was finally taken. Not only she, but everybody inside her home. She was told, hang a ribbon from one of the windows, and her home, her building would be spared. And of course it was. And she went on to be the great grandmother to Jesus. Like Jesus's great grandmother was a prostitute. Right? God used her. Didn't use her because she had repented of her ways. God used her because God chose to use her, because she was willing. He didn't use her because she was good and kind and just. It doesn't say any of that kind of stuff. God used her because God chose to use her and because she was willing. Lots of people out there don't feel like they are worthy of God's love. They don't feel like they are deserving to be called by God into purpose and into mission, into a relationship with God. There's something keeping them from saying yes to that. Now there are lots of people out there who say no because they're just not interested. No, thank you. Don't want to be called by you. Don't believe in you. I'm going to go on my merry way and you go on your merry way, and never shall we meet again. But there are many people out there who say no, or perhaps don't answer at all because at some point they were told by someone in authority, by someone that they trusted, by someone that they looked up to, that they were somehow unworthy. No one is unworthy. No man, no woman, no child, no person of age and maturity, no person, no criminal, no thief, no crook, no whoever. There is nobody on this planet who is unworthy of God's love, who is unworthy of God's call, who is unworthy of purpose and meaning in their life. Not one. That person does not exist. Now, yes, there are times in the Bible where it says God hardened their heart. Sure. Nobody is unworthy of God's love. Everybody is worthy to say, yes, I accept you. Yes, I will do what you ask. We don't have to change first. We don't have to become something that we are not. We just have to say yes. Now, today in the Daily Stoic, and I love how this happens from time to time, in Ryan Holiday's book, The Daily Stoic, great book, on March 14th, The quote that Ryan offers us is from Diogenes, and it says, Zeno would say that nothing is more hostile to a firm grasp on knowledge than self-deception. Now, when I first read this, I was like, wow, this is amazing. See, when we feel unworthy, we actually are giving into, we're buying into, it means that we've adopted what is known as a limiting belief, right? An ideal, a value we have internalized so deeply that it keeps us from even trying to do something. It keeps us from even trying to change. It keeps us from even trying to ask that girl or that guy out on a date. It keeps us from even trying to ask for a raise or to look for a new job, or it can keep us from even achieving a better grade in school. Limiting beliefs are incredibly harmful to us, and they've got to be rooted out. A limiting belief is a form of self-deception. A limiting belief tells us that we can't do it, we shouldn't do it, we're not able to do it, we're not worthy of doing it. Some of us have limiting beliefs about this relationship with God. That I can't be loved. And it's simply untrue. Some of us believe that I can't be used. God does not want to call me into something. Yes, God does. Yes, you can. You are valuable. You are useful. Yes, the work that you do is important. The work that God is calling you to do is important. It is going to be transformative in your community. These limiting beliefs that keep us stuck in this quagmire. We can't listen to them. They're absolutely pointless and unhealthy and unhelpful. When we say to ourselves, we say the same thing over and over and over again. Well, God only loves this person. You're wrong. You're absolutely wrong. God loves everyone. God only loves people that love like this. God only loves people that look like that. God only loves people that sound like that. Wrong, 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 wrong. God loves all people. God loves all people long before they become holy and pious. God chose to use Rahab not after she gave up prostitution. God chose to use Moses not after he stopped being a murderer. God chose to use the people of the Bible, all those characters that we know through Sunday school. God chose to use them long before any of them changed. God chose to use them where they were, as they were. The change, that happened later. It was unimportant to God. All that mattered is that they were willing to say yes. All that matters is that they didn't have a limiting belief that told them they were unworthy. You are worthy. I am worthy. We are all worthy of God's love, of God's call, of this relationship with God. May the Lord bless you. May the Lord keep you. May the Lord's face be made to shine upon you and be gracious to you. May the Lord's countenance be lifted up to you. May you always know the peace of being in the Lord's presence. And I pray, if you have that limiting belief, let's work on that together. Let's be rid of it. It's not helpful to you. It's not healthy to you. It's not helpful to your community. Let it go. Recognize how valuable, how wonderful, how beautiful, how precious you are in the sight of God. As you are. Amen. Numultus.